This is Brian Samborino, and you're listening to the Disruptive Consulting Podcast. It's my mission to help decision makers and business owners excel, so I'm bringing you some of the nation's top consultants and executives to break down the strategies that they've used to disrupt the average day-to-day process.
Who is your market?
Who is positive?
That's how do you typically reach their parents?
CEOs knew it wasn't working. That's why they said, "Can you come in here?" And she always comes up.
I cannot say enough great things about someone. And we're thanks for joining, Kim. This is it's gonna be a good time. This is episode one of the Disruptive Consulting Podcast by Tangible. So we want to serve a market that needs to know how you are being disruptive. I'm a firm believer that I think that some of what I do is slightly disruptive, at least locally, and I'm kind of a disruptive person as it is. So let's hear how you made this career being disruptive.
Okay, you know me, right? Right, Brian, you know me. Poster child. At my core, I'm a change agent. I was, it's just that's my gift. That's what I was born here to do, create change. And so my soul's purpose for being here is to challenge the status quo. And sometimes, sometimes that's received well, and sometimes it shakes things up. So I've learned how to wield that power, for good. And I've learned how to soften the impact to make people embrace change and learn how to use it to create their own success stories. So, but yeah, people who want to live in the past or don't want anything ever to change because change is bad, find me very disruptive. Those very disruptive. But if they're sincerely looking for a way to grow, they just don't know how, they find me refreshing and a cool drink of water.
Correct. I think that what I find most interesting about your style is the way that you manifest change, right? You speak it into existence. And
yes, that's genie powers. Yeah.
Right. I've always been super interested in that. I'm a firm believer. I think that you really need to go there and support yourself just to believe it,
Yeah. Well, right. Now that I've been finally learned how to swim online, I'm really leading with that, because that's what I did 22 years ago in corporate America with CEOs, very conservative, buttoned up professional CEOs. And I did, that was in my soul to teach. My message 22 years ago, to corporate America was success is your birthright. You might not know that, but and by the way, it's something you receive. This achieving shit is not, excuse my language if I can't, it's not working. And the CEOs knew it wasn't working. That's why they said, "Hey, can you come in here?" And I can remember when I really committed to it fully, I'll never forget, a very high-profile CEO invited me in. I was terrified. I barely had I still only have word collateral. Back then, I thought it was a bad thing. I was like, I said to him, I don't know if I can come. He goes, "Why not?" I'm like, "I have word collateral." Like, he goes, "It's okay. Come on in." And he was trying so hard to communicate the challenges he and his team were having. And he was professional. And he was talking in a very professional way. And what it sounded like to my genie brain was wah, 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 like Charlie Brown's teacher. And here I am going, I don't understand a thing he's saying. And that's not because I'm stupid, because he's just like blah, blah, blah. So I composed myself. And like all disruptors, we need to ask permission. And I said, "May I give you a little metaphor here to help us out?" He's like, "Yes." It was a little maybe outside of your comfort zone. He goes, "Proceed." I asked him to imagine being on a beach Maybe he's on vacation with his family, taking a walk, and just like tripping over something in the sand. And as he bends down, it's a lamp, and he just kind of dusts off the sand. And lo and behold, a genie appears. Hello, master. How may I serve you? And he's kind of looking at me like, I go, and the reason why I say that is because I'm like, sure your kids know about the genie. He goes, oh my God, Aladdin's in our house 24/7. This was back in the day. I said, great. My question to you is, if the genie came out of the bottle saying, hey, dude, how can I help you? And you wanted help with whatever problem you're trying to share with me, what would you say to the genie? Lo and behold, crystal clear communication, words that I could understand came out of his mouth. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we can do that. He's like, we can? I'm like, no problem. I got you. And I found myself having to explain that same thing to every brilliant, mover and shaker I met, because what they were telling me wasn't what they desired or what they required. They were telling me their professional opinion of all the things that needed to happen and to line up and do this and do that before they can get what they wanted. And I'm like, I might have an easier way. And they're like, tell me. And that's how I got people introduced to what I call energy management. Energy management is my tool to do what you're calling manifestation. Because manifestation is a big popular word that no one really understands and no one really does it properly. And those who teach it are only teaching one of a million things that need to go along with it. And most people do not want to go back to school to learn neuroscience and quantum mechanics. Right. So I found a way to just bundle it up into this fun thing called energy management. The way I get people to embrace it is to just remember to have fun, to get it done. So the secret to manifesting, I'll use your word, is figure out what's fun for you and stay in that lane. That's it. If it's fun, it'll work. If it's fun, it will get done. And then as a business strategist, I can then, once we have the menu, all is pleasing to you, that's when my brain shifts for you. We talk business, and then we use energy management to call it in. And even my most buttoned up corporate CEOs were like, this is so much easier and like so much less effort. I'm like, I know, shh, won't tell anybody. You're still brilliant. You still got it.
Did you use the same method to grow yourself?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had challenges, Brian. I started my company in 1999. You're not old enough to remember 1999.
It's 9.
Yeah, you're 9. Well, you weren't, but hopefully you were. There was a recession going on at the time. I had no formal degree. I had no money because I put my life savings into my first home. I bought the home because I had a good job, and then I found out I didn't have a job, and I had 2 weeks severance pay, and did not meet. And I had a decision to make. Everyone wanted to hire me, and I'm like, no, don't want to go. Not fun for me. But I decided that I would make myself available to companies who wanted to get the results that I knew I could provide them. And I invited them to give me their teams. Instead of hiring me to do the work they wanted, I said, listen, I got a better opportunity for you. How about you give me your teams, right? Me, and I'll make them like, if there's 2, 3, 10, 20, I'll make them all act like me. But then I can go play, because like if I go into your place, you're going to make me want to change, and I can't do that. I'll change them for you, and I'll go play. And they were like, I like that deal. So I built my reputation on helping people triple their sales in 90 days through energy management, by learning to have fun, call it in, and rinse and repeat. So that's how I got known. And then people started seeing all these people like do what I just said, and they're like, can you come do that over here? And I would. And the CEOs are like, can you come into the C-suite? We got issues. I think you can. I'm like, but I have word collateral. They go, we don't care about the collateral. Like we need to help. We need to hear you, how you want to help us solve this.
Right.
And at the C-suite, they had a lot going right, but they didn't have the proper communication. Everyone was speaking a different language. So I introduced them to energy management and gave them tools to understand each other's languages, which allowed them to shift, use energy management, and call all their objectives in. So that's how we roll. And what I like about it is it's a recession-proof strategy.
Right.
It's a technology, disruptive, safe strategy. Like platforms come and go. Like we're hearing all the things that are going on about Twitter, and everyone's like either embracing Twitter or running away from Twitter. Like, what do we do? Like energy management, you'll find your new platform, and everyone will be waiting for you. No problem. And if life seems to happen a lot to you, my background, life's happened a lot to me in the middle of these great business goals that I create. It all works out. If I had to deal with my life happenings, and my clients find this true as well, the hustle mindset would have buried me if I tried to build my business with a hustle mindset. My clients come to me already burnt out from the hustle mentality, saying, Kim, it's not working anymore. I'm like, I know, come on in. Don't worry, I got you. And this energy management system is the secret ingredient, the genie powers, like that helps them shift into 7 figures, into 8 figures, into 10 figures, like wherever they start. If they start at 6, we grow them to 7. If they're at 7, we multiply. And if they want to go to 8, we show them how to shift into 8. So while dealing with all this crazy things in our life and our personal background, which is really different than the corporate mentality or the hustle, because what the hustle teaches you is you can't have a life, or you got to put your life on the back burner and just focus in. I don't know about you, that doesn't really work well for me. Somehow life has a way of just like coming right back in, saying, deal with me, please. Right?
Yeah.
So
For me, it's so much easier to accomplish something if I have a clear mind, right? Peace of mind, and then everything else just falls into place. Business, anything,
Brian, I love it that you learned this at your age. Like I just started to get the concept, and it took me a while to get traction when I was your age. Like I learned this, I really got this. I was doing it and didn't realize I was doing it, but I was still like looking up to my hustle mentors. Right. It wasn't until my age 27 when I was really injured in a car accident and I couldn't hustle if my life depended on it, that I really leaned in and embraced this. But it's peace of mind it never goes out of style. It never goes out of style.
Right. It's amazing. Life happens. But I appreciate the compliment, So do you use any technology? Like what type of technology do you use in this?
I sold technology. I was always resistant to using technology. Like I still miss my 8-track cassette tapes, just saying. That's who I am. I was kind of I used some technology, but went full-time into technology in 2018. I was involved in a car accident that left me really bumped and bruised, and I was not ready for public viewing, but still needed to be present to clients and my community. So I learned to fall in love with Zoom. Yeah, Zoom has been phenomenal. It allowed us to go international during COVID. That was my dream for many years, and didn't know how to get a Genie jet. So Zoom, social media. My two platforms are LinkedIn and Facebook.
Okay. So one thing I think that's important you work with a lot of business owners. So, you know, do you see that how often do you find that they don't have a CRM but should have one, or don't have something to manage their email campaigns but should, you know?
That's an interesting question. I have eliminated from my vocabulary, and I require my clients to eliminate 3 words: try, but, and should. Not allowed. They have to give me $1 into my favorite charity jar every time they use those words in my presence. So I believe that everyone needs a system to be consistently in touch with their community. I encourage my clients to figure out for them the best way to do it. I have a CRM, but I'm a paper girl. Even with all this wonderful technology, and I have one, I just take out of the CRM and I write paper, and then that's where my power of the pen,
Right.
and my Excel sheet. I can make Excel do anything. But if your heart tells you, like, no, Kim, I need a CRM, I am happy to help you find the right one for you. It's kind of like the right pair of shoes. They all look great until you try them on.
Right.
So when it comes to like formal technology CRMs, it's kind of like Goldilocks. You got to find the right one for you. I always say, don't worry about the one, focus on how it makes you feel, or how do you want it to feel. Like when anything you invest in, anything you choose to have as part of your infrastructure, this is my wisdom to anyone who wants to ever not get overwhelmed with anything. The only reason why you invest in something is to make your life easier or make you more money. If a formal CRM will do that, go for it.
Right.
If you can rule the school, if you can rule the school with a paper and a pen and a little like recipe, like tickler file, which is very old school. Some of you might not even know what I'm talking about. You know, I personally don't care. If you are building team and your team all have to have access to the same information, yes, you might need to have a CRM or something bigger.
Right.
And when that happens, I have people for that. I have like professionals who will come. It's kind of like when I was a dancer and we got fitted for our toe shoes. It was a big deal. We got fitted personally, and we got the right toe shoes for the right feet. They come in and examine you like a tailor, measure you, ask you what style like you like, and then they give you because there's so many. Brian, you know better than I do.
Right.
So
you mentioned a couple of great points. User friendly needs to be one of the features. Cost effective needs to be another one, especially if you're a salesperson, small business owner, consultant, right? Which is part of the reason that I partnered with Zoho, because I think it serves all of what I need, and it does. It makes me pretty happy. So
I love that. Yeah.
If you ever want like a tour or a demo or something, definitely let me know. I'll take a few minutes.
I would love to do that. I think I can remember back 2016, I had a client who had a brick and mortar business, and it was a kitchen business. So there's a lot of information and clients and moving parts. They were old school like me. And I was like, oh no, we need to go to a system, but totally like, what's a system? I was like, okay. I think I brought my people in and we figured out, I think we used it, but I'd love to be reintroduced to it because they were able, they made me look like a Mensa with technology, with way they never had it before.
2016, it's probably been updated 300 times.
All right, then you and I have a date to go play in Zoho. Yeah.
Yeah, next time.
All right.
All right, so I think that I learned a tremendous amount about you. We haven't talked in so long, and it's nice to catch up.
No.
You want to tell anybody that's listening or watching this video where they can find more about you, or website, LinkedIn?
Sure. LinkedIn, I'm known as Kim Kasparian. So linkedin.com/in/Kim Kasparian. I'm there if you like LinkedIn, if LinkedIn's your jam. I usually invite everyone who wants to hang out and kind of be in my presence and learn a little bit to Facebook, where I have a free business group where I can be more of my genie self and kind of interact with you on a more intimate level. Business owners growing to 7 figures. Business owners growing to 7 figures. I designed the page, the group, to be like Cheers. If you remember the sitcom Cheers, you know, where everyone knows your name, you're having a bad day, come on in. So it's a very casual, be yourself, show up as you are place to network and kind of just grow. And
Daily
if you're
feed
looking
and all that.
at
I don't know. Keep going.
okay. So it's like Cheers. I'm just telling you, like, pull up a seat, don't care what you look like, just show up and like, what do you need? And then to kind of get a sense of successgenie.com. I have a free quiz right on the front page that helps you see where you're hot and where you're not with your genie skills. Like, you use the word manifestation, you're like, I want to learn how to do that. Well, the good news is you have the skills to do it. You might not know how to align them. This quiz right on the front page, or you can go right to getyoursuccessscore.com, either place. It'll ask you questions to see where you're hot and where you're not. And then I can give you some things to help you call in your success, like you and I both know how to do.
That's awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It was great. And hopefully we'll get together soon. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Kim.
All right.